Welcome back, and joining me for a look at the day's markets action is Sanlam Private Wealth's Nick Kunze. Thank you so much for your time, Nick. A shortened week for the US, and ahead of that we are seeing quite a mixed picture there in the markets. We did, of course, last night get the Fed minutes from the Fed's November meeting, in which there was a hawkish kind of tone direction from Jerome Powell. How have markets digested those minutes?
Yeah, good evening, Auntie. I think to a certain extent, pretty much expected. We know that Mr. Powell's been trying to talk back the sort of rate cuts in the US for the last couple of weeks, certainly implying that the US economy is still on quite firm footing, and the dollar's been strong. Even though they are sort of leading a little bit more that way. The dollar's been super strong. The GDP print today was a little bit better than expected. I think all in all, just showing that US economy is on quite a firm footing. So I think a lot of those traders out there that were expecting some more jumbo rate cuts, I think you need to dial that back quite a bit, because they're certainly leaning more towards a quarter and possibly even a pause early next year.
Yeah. The PCE, Nick, hasn't come out yet, right? Because I was looking for it, and I was expecting it to come out, I think, at around maybe 3-4. It hasn't come out yet.
It did actually come out. The
did it?
PVC
Okay.
deflator came out. Yeah, it might have come out while we're just crossing ends, but it has come across the wires, and it is a little bit sticky. So it's about 10 basis points higher than the market was looking for.
Okay. So, but also that still doesn't change anything in terms of what Powell could do going forward. Still the same rhetoric.
I think the same rhetoric. Look, there's a little bit of a balancing act. We've obviously got the sort of shadow of Mr. Trump, the president-elect, in the background. We're not quite sure what's going to happen. He's already sort of throwing trade tariff grenades left, right, and center. So we're not quite sure of how Mr. Powell and his Federal Reserve are going to play the noise going forward. But for now, I reiterate, I don't think there's much change. We're going to get a rate cut this, 0.25% priced in already.
Yeah.
But I guess going forward is going to be the difficult one. Early next year is going to be a bit tricky where we go.
All right. Well, Nick, let's get on to some JSE company news that came out today, of course. The first thing that I noticed was that platinum miners were up in general today, and Amplats was actually trading in the red. And then I went to go see what was happening. Then I saw that Anglo offloaded some more shares in Amplats, of course, as they are moving towards that demerger. Talk to me about, the reaction of this. I mean, because this is not something that's unexpected.
It's not something that's unexpected, but it's we've tried to be as polite as possible on your show. These executives sitting in the boardrooms at Anglo's certainly are not watching the markets, and by dumping another sort of big share block pretty much at the bottom of the cycle is not great for shareholders of Anglo American. We saw that last time. I think the average price was about 515 Rand. At the bottom of the cycle. So you've got to be a little bit careful. I don't think this is getting very well received. In fact, I've heard some quite grumpy Anglo shareholders asking why they keep doing it at these levels. But, I guess going to plan. Their board has got to plan to execute, to disinvest, and to make their business more streamlined. And this is what they're going to be doing. But certainly from a market watch point of view, it's just not great timing, I don't think.
I mean, not great timing, and I mean, already shareholders in Amplats have experienced quite a lot of pressure. Do you think that we are still to see some more selling here until everything is really clear?
Well, if I recall the announcement last night when the news broke after the close, they did indicate this was the last of the block to go.
Okay.
Of course, things can change with the board, but for now, this looks like the last share placement they've got going for now. So I think, Anglo Plat shareholders can sort of take a bit of a breather, because they're certainly the selling according to the board. This is the last lot to come.
Nick, before we get to your stock pick, I don't know how much time you've had to digest, because Tsogo-san came out with its numbers, its year-end numbers. Actually interim numbers. I also haven't really digested them. It came out at 5:05, and literally just from a snippet that's here on Sense, I see that everything is down. I don't think this is unexpected, right?
It's not unexpected. I think it was literally three lines. I also saw it, caught it on the screen as I ran in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the dividend was the same as last year or the last period, so unchanged there. But I saw earnings were down 15%. Most line items are down. No, I don't think it's unexpected. We've seen the rest of that sort of space being a little bit under pressure this year, but I would argue that it's probably the worst is out there. This is probably bad as it's going to get. I wouldn't be too concerned. As I said, haven't had too much to digest, but not unexpected. And at least they're maintaining that dividend, so the cash flows are still good, but
Yeah.
no increase in the dividend for those shareholders out there.
Yeah, all right. Well, Nick, let us get to your stock pick for today. What are you choosing?
So sticking with the retail theme, on the eve of the Boxer listing as well. So it's obviously flavor of the month on the JSE. So stock pick for tonight is going to be Pepkor. Results yesterday, really solid set of numbers. Every single line item was pretty good. Increase in dividend, cash flows are back, bouncing back into a positive compared to the same period last year. And also some news this morning as well that they're going to be acquiring Choice Clothing as well, strengthening that sort of clothing side into the lower LSM group as well. And look, it is a little bit. Share price has been a decent performance, up over 30% year to date, sitting around, I think, broke 26 Rand today. But I still think there's legs in it. And I think the sector is certainly continuing to get a lot of inflows, a lot of capital coming in, and Pepkor certainly really nice set of numbers. So that's the stock pick for tonight.
Quickly, before I let you go, Nick, the Boxer listing tomorrow. Is there an air of excitement there?
Definitely. Look, it's been a while. It just shows along the last time we had it here in a stockbroking business. The last one was a used car business, which was we buy cars. So there is definitely been, and clients are looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. I think it's the JSE have done a great job. The underwriters, the sort of sponsors as well, drumming up a lot of support for it. So I'm sure it'll go well. And it's definitely a vote of confidence on the JSE. So looking forward to it tomorrow morning.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your analysis there, Nick. Much appreciated. That was Nick Kunze from Sanlam Private Wealth.